Salutations everyone, this is Razor bringing you analysis of PAX Arena at PAX South with Super Smash Bros. Melee. A fantastic tournament, no Armada, no Leffen, as we've come accustomed to, passport issues and all that good stuff. But it was one hell of a tournament. Let me know if you've heard this one before. 5 Captain Falcons in top 18. I don't think you've heard that story, and I've never heard that story. It was fantastic. West Balls, the best that I've ever seen him. Axe, still amazing. Top 6 in the world, I would say. Tempo Storm's Axe. Wizrobe continues to get better. S2J continues to get better. SFAT continues to do better. And we just saw a lot of great performances all around. Just some really good stuff. Hungrybox, of course, won the tournament, double eliminating Mango, 3-2 in both winners and grand finals. Rather convincingly, even though it was 3-2, he did get the double elimination and showed that the whole Genesis 3 thing was what we all thought it was. Sure, Mango is getting better and, is getting back to his old form, but he still can't beat Hungrybox. We know that. He knows, Hungrybox knows, everybody knew at Genesis that one game that was dropped because of some absolute crazy nonsense death that happened to Hungrybox. Everybody knew that was nonsense and that Hungrybox, should have won that set. So he gets his revenge, shows that he's still better than Mango. He still has that matchup against anything he has to throw against him. So Hungrybox, still a solid second best player in the world. He just has to beat Armada on NTSC. We know he can beat him, overseas, the only one to do that in history. And he's been able to show that he's got consistent results against everybody else. One of those few people who can consistently be in winners every single time. It doesn't matter if he's facing Mewtwo King or West Balls or Axe or Mango or Shroomed, Wobbles, what have you. He's shown consistent performance and has a solid grip on the number 2 ranking in the world. Mango, however, still showing that he is, getting back to form with the second place finish. We saw Mango eliminate Mewtwo King 3-1. He also beat West Balls, who was just having a fantastic tournament. He beat him 3-1 as well. We have West Balls finishing third there, mostly with his Falco. We did see a little bit of Fox thrown in there, actually more Falco than Mango. We know that Mango doesn't like the Fox Dittos. He also showed in his matchup with West Balls he doesn't like the Falco Dittos either, so he elected to go Fox against West Balls' Falco. And then we have Axe with 4th place, had a hell of a set versus West Balls. Just like every time you see Axe go against a top 10 player, it is just a phenomenal time. And his set versus West Balls was easily one of the 2 best sets that we saw. And one of the other great sets that we saw was Wizrobe versus S2J, that Captain Falcon Ditto. Wizrobe finishing 5th. I think this was the second best that we've ever seen Wizrobe. Sure, he didn't have some of the craziest combos that we've ever seen him do, but he was the most clutch that I've ever seen Wizrobe. So it's nice to see him kind of get back up on his feet after some disappointing standings in more recent tournaments. But in the last couple of tournaments, we have seen Wizrobe tap into what we know he is capable of, and we saw a lot of capable Captain Falcons. Mewtwo King falling to Mango after losing against Axe. So those were 2 tough things for Mewtwo King to come up against. But he beat Tafo 3-0. He beat Wobbles 3-1 to show that he doesn't struggle with Ice Climbers. That thing at Genesis was just he was able to correct the mistakes that he had against Ice Climbers at Genesis when he lost. It just seems like he was dropping a lot of things. His Peach, which is his counter pick against Ice Climbers, wasn't fantastic. He did pull out the Peach again and only dropped one of his Peach games against Wobbles. And he was also able to finish him 3-1 with Marth. And with Marth, I think, was a fantastic call on Yoshi's story. Using his Nair to desync Popo and Nana was fantastic. He was applying edge guards the way that we know he should. He wasn't trying to play to the crowd or anything else. He played the way that he needed to get the victory. And then that's really all that matters. So his Marth looked sharp. Against Axe, I kind of disagree with him going to Fox away from Sheik. I feel like Sheik is the better matchup against Axe's Pikachu. You have Needles that can snipe, which we know we saw a little bit, and with those fairs, close off stage, I think are just better for I think probably every case than Fox. We know that Mewtwo King has been kind of shying away from the Fox for most of the past year because of his hand injuries. He hasn't felt 100%, and we know that Fox is the more input-heavy character out of the three characters that he does use between Marth, Sheik, and Fox. So for the past year, we've pretty much exclusively seen Marth and Sheik, and he has had a lot of success, especially in the latter half of the season last year. But we saw M2K pull out the Fox against Tafo. They had a Fox Ditto, and he soundly beat him in Final Destination. We also saw him try to pull out the Fox once again against Axe, and that didn't pan out well for him. So I would like to see. We know that he has to have a Fox to beat Jigglypuff. He needs Fox to beat Hungrybox. He knows that. Everybody knows that. He needs Fox in that crazy up throw up air to defeat Hungrybox, who was the best at this tournament. Pretty solidified in that statement. He was the best at this tournament. So Mewtwo King knows he needs Fox, otherwise Hungrybox is going to continue to beat him over and over again. So it was nice to see his Fox, and the fact that it wasn't super rusty, he was able to completely dominate Tafo, and it was pretty on point. I didn't see anything particularly wrong with his Fox, but I just think against that Pikachu matchup, he should have stuck with Sheik after getting that victory earlier on in the set. But Axe has just showed supreme consistency, almost as much as Hungrybox, staying in winners, getting those edge guards. Axe just had a really good turn. We know that he's more than capable of destroying Mango in certain cases, and had a hell of a set versus West Balls. That was the 3-2 for West Balls to go to winners against Hungrybox. But back to Mewtwo King, he did struggle against Mango, so that showed that that is still a thing, because he lost 3-1 with the Marth. Many times he was up tilting too early on the chain grabs against Mango. So he was dropping those combos that he himself invented. He just wasn't converting. So it wasn't Mewtwo King at his worst, but we do know, especially in his set with Axe, that he was not at his best. You can see the hands hurting. While that's not, a great excuse, we do know that he did lose some fundamentals. He was dropping a lot of punishes against both Mango and Axe. So we know he's still one of the best in the world. But he still needs to have that Fox to beat Hungrybox, and Mango is once again an obstacle, and Axe is just an obstacle for everybody to get through, except for maybe Hungrybox, who hasn't struggled against him much in the past. S2J with a solid 7th place finish with his Captain Falcon, and is tied with SFAT with another 7th place. SFAT and S2J have been increasing their game just very, very much over the last recent months. I think those are some of the more improved players, but while they improved and Wizrobe has kind of shown his form again, West Balls just went off. West Balls had the best tournament that I've seen him had, with a solid 3rd place finish. West Balls was able to take out some pretty crazy, games. He beat Wizrobe 3-2. He beat Axe 3-1. He just had a solid game. His dares were on point. His combos were solid, and was just very, very good. We saw very few mistakes. We saw Mango make more mistakes with his Falcon than West Balls did, in all actuality, when it came to the recovery and the Mangles. West Balls just had it down pat, but Mango's Fox was just that much better. And to round out the top 18, we had Mojo with his Fox Wobbles, the Ice Climbers Shroomed, with the Marth, Lucky, who's also we've seen improving a lot recently with his Fox, Arcs Marth, Rael's Falco, who dropped to, I think it was Hungrybox. Yeah, Hungrybox beat Rael 3-1, Hungrybox beat SFAT 3-2, and then of course he double eliminated Mango 3-2 and 3-2. So Hungrybox showing that, you know, whenever someone can do well against him, that they are stepping up their game. There's not like a ton of Jigglypuffs. We had King finishing 25th along with Space Waste, but we had a ton of Captain Falcons, guys. It was crazy with Wizrobe and S2J, and then we also saw Gatsu and Jake 13 and Zaya rounding out the top 18. Just Captain Falcons were going off, and that set with S2J and Wizrobe doing that Falcon Ditto was quite entertaining. So I would definitely love to see more of Wizzy and S2J competing at this super high level. We know what Wizrobe is capable of, and like I said, this was, I think, the second best that we have seen him. So it'll be really nice to see him continue to up his game. Every single set that we see with Axe is just astonishingly entertaining. And if West Balls can keep this up, that's just going to be crazy. I would really like to see West Balls versus Mewtwo King. I would love to see Lucky versus SFAT. You know, there's a lot of great matchups that we still want to see no matter how many times we have seen them, which is what's so great about Melee. But overall, it was a solid competition with great performances all around. Wizrobe beating JoJo, Lucky 3-0, beating S2J, but he was eliminated by West Balls. West Balls also beating Axe, just showing that he was completely on point. But you know, Axe was very good as well. He beat Lucky. He 3-2'd SFAT. He 3-2'd Mewtwo King, but he was eliminated by West Balls 3-1. So we do know that there definitely is some room for improvement within that matchup. But overall, there's a lot to be excited for. You know, is Hungrybox going to be able to beat Armada? What's Leffen going to do when we finally get to see him back? How does he do against Mango? How does he do against Mewtwo King or West Balls or Axe? It's going to be some exciting stuff to see. So cannot wait for more Melee in the future. And I'll talk to you guys then.